Hello, everyone. My name is Kashia Sharice, and I'm coming to talk to you about anxiety. I had a major anxiety attack last year, September 20th. And the reason I had the major anxiety attack was attributed to having a lot on my plate, such as I was trying to find a house for me and my family. The commute that I was doing from my job to pick up my kids was probably like an hour and 20 minutes. And then also just taking care of a lot because my husband was not down here in Arizona yet. So I was taking on like a lot on my plate. Plus, working at the job that I was working on, I was taking on a lot of responsibilities as well. And that caused an overload, as well as the people in my life that were toxic or needy or draining me. So on September 20th last year at my job, I experienced a major anxiety attack. So basically, I was fine during I was really getting blessed in many areas. I felt God's presence around me, the Holy Spirit. I felt really good. I was in a good place in my life. And I went into work that day smiling as usual, and in good spirits. But as the day continued, probably around lunchtime, I started feeling agitated in my stomach area. Like I had felt that before, but I never thought it could be linked to anxiety. I never had been diagnosed with anxiety. I had never thought it could be anxiety. So I felt this uneasiness in my stomach area, and then there were noises in my office because I had an office by myself, but there were noises from the outside and the inside that was really irritating me to the point where I would have to brace myself until that noise went away. And so I decided to get up and walk around just to breathe and get some fresh air and get out the office. So as I'm walking around, my coworkers are looking at me like really strangely. And I'm just like, okay, I may have gotten up twice to walk around the office, but why are you guys like looking at me strange and going into offices and whispering? That just kind of threw me off. So I was just really on high alert, very paranoid. And I went back in my office. I was to the point where I didn't want anyone saying anything to me. I was that irritated. I didn't want anyone saying anything to me. I just wanted to sit there, do my work, and leave for the day. But the noises were irritating my anxiety level, as they say, or my uneasiness in my stomach area, and just my whole aura was off. So I ended up, someone came into the office and I yelled at them to leave me alone, get out of my office. I was putting holy oil around the office, guys, because I was like, I'm under spiritual attack. These forces, these negative demonic forces are really trying to get to me. So I was really like on high alert in that aspect as well. So one of my coworkers came in and they were just like, they were trying to talk to me. Or actually, I came out of the office and they were like, well, they had called like a higher up. And I was just like, well, I am going home. So I just left out real quick. And then it took me like 3 hours to get home. I wasn't sure if I was going to go pick up my kids. But I had called my husband and he was like, just go home. And we had just moved to this house. So it took me 3 hours to get to the house because I was paranoid that people were following me. I was just very paranoid. So I was turning off streets here and there. And it was just really scary situation, guys. Luckily, my husband does have family down here. So one of his family members was able to go and get my kids from school and bring them all the way out to where we live, which is pretty far from where they live. But I was thankful for that. So when my kids made it to the house, we were in the house basically. So I told my husband, I need you to get down here as soon as possible because I am not feeling good. Like I feel like I'm under spiritual attack. I'm not feeling good on the inside. I didn't know it was anxiety because I had never been diagnosed with anxiety, and never really looked into the symptoms of anxiety. So he was like, he wasn't going to be able to get down there till Monday. And I was like, no, you have to get down here before that. Because he had already booked the ticket, guys. And I didn't, and I knew he was coming on. I thought he was going to, I thought he was coming earlier, but he wasn't going to be able to come down to Monday. And this was on a Thursday last year. And I was like, you have to get down here sooner than that. So he ended up switching his ticket around where he was able to get down Saturday. But that still left me in the house with the kids Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, not knowing how I was going to get through. So I called one of his family members to see, if I can kind of get out the house and get the kids out the house. But unfortunately, that fell through. I was very disappointed. I was very like, no one is here to help me. I felt very isolated and alone. So I had my kids though, and I had God. So I called on the name of Jesus Christ every single hour of the day. Every day I was praying. I was in like high prayer mode because everything that was going on around the house, from the noises, from the outside noises, from just a lot was going on spiritually. So I was just consistently praying. We were in one room. We would listen to gospel music too. We were praying. We were talking. My kids really had my back. They were my strength. And just knowing that I can call on God as well. It was a lot, guys. And I had to battle every single day spiritually with the demonic forces that were trying to come against me. I had to battle and internally battle with them, and then also externally by trying to cleanse my house. And it was so many things that were going on or that had occurred that I had to really be praised up. I was praising God every day. My kids develop a higher learning as it relates to God and praising and worshiping God. They gained a whole new respect and level. And this is what I had to do to get through, to get to Saturday when my husband was was going to be here, because he's like he's the person that comes in and everything goes back, those spirits back off. So I was like, wow. So it was just like day in, it just felt like it was like a month. And I was calling my sister, I was calling my brother, I was calling my husband. I was just every day just like, okay, get me through, making sure that I stay sane. Because with me, I was going in and out of the spiritual realm and the natural realm. So trying to stay not too far in the spiritual realm, but staying in the natural realm was something that I was battling with. So I had to lean on people like my sister, my husband, my brother to keep me, here, because some people, they never recover when they go too far in that spiritual realm. They never recover. So I knew that, and I was just trying to keep stable. And then my kids was here, so I had to continue to cook. We were still doing a normal cook, clean. I was still, just we was reading our Bibles and all of that, and I still had to maintain my sanity, as they say. So Saturday finally came, but my husband's flight, he missed his flight. They changed the gate, and he didn't know, and he missed his flight. So he had to come later on in the day. So that was just like another big blow, because I'm just like, I was expecting you during the day, but now you're not coming till later tonight. And then, so it was just a lot. When he finally came, I was drained. I was drained to the point where I was looking at him with a stare of, I'm done. Like, I'm tired. I don't know who are you? I had one of them stares in my eyes, and I was just mentally, physically, spiritually drained from battling from Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. It felt like a month of battling. So I was drained, and it took me a little bit to warm up to my husband. And then finally he was able to kind of comfort me in a way that my guards were put down. So over the next couple of days, I was still kind of spiritually in and out in the natural and the spiritual realm with songs I would hear. I can hear, I can hear like what was behind those songs. Some of these songs out here, guys, are not of God. You listen to the lyrics, you listen to the beats, and you know it's from a demonic nature. And even the people that's singing it is with it. So even going to the movies, we went to the movies, and it was just some things that I was just like, wow, never saw that before. But I had to still kind of maintain, try to get back to maintaining that staying in the natural realm, but also knowing that it's spiritual things going around me as well. So finally Monday came, we went to the doctor. I went to 2 doctors because I wanted to find out, okay, if it's something within me physically that's going on, I need to know, because mental illness does run in my family. So I wanted to know. So I went to one doctor, and they evaluated me. They said, nothing's wrong with you. They said, you just had a major anxiety attack, especially when I told them exactly everything that I had been doing by myself over the last month or two. It was longer than that, guys, but over that last month, I had been doing like at least 10 different things as far as on my plate. So they said, yeah, you had a major anxiety attack. They gave me some medication that kind of relaxes you. It was like the lowest dose. They said that should help you sleep and things like that. So I was like, okay. I took that one night, and I'm not into the medication thing because I have that pharmacy background, and I understand how that all affects your body, and I understand how your body can actually get back to normalcy by itself. So I took it one night. I was fine. I didn't have to take it anymore. I went to another doctor that was in my network, and I went in, and he asked me a lot of different questions. So he had these questions, right? And it was basically, do you feel sad sometimes? Do you have it? It was just asking about, do I sleep a lot? Am I excited a lot? Those type of questions, probably like 10 questions. So after he finished, he said, I diagnose you with bipolar. I said, excuse me? I said, so you're telling me that I've been functioning normally with all these things on my plate. I come into your office and I'm still able to recount a lot of things that happen. I've never had a suicidal thought in my life. I've never had a suicidal thought or a thought to harm someone else to the point where I'm going to do it. I am cognizant of everything around me. So you're telling me I'm bipolar? I said, no, I'm not bipolar. Right? So he said, okay. I think I went to see him again. The second time I went to see him, because I was like, I'm not bipolar. I'm just not. You're not just going to put that title on me. Right? So I went in the next time, and he had a whole different set of questions, guys. Those questions were geared towards, have you ever been suicidal? Have you ever thought about jumping off a building? It was like 10 questions about suicidal. How long are you depressed and all that? And I'm like, I can get myself, if I'm down, I can rebound that stuff and get myself out of that, because I have faith in God, and my faith lies in God. And God helps me through a lot. My faith in God and believing and Jesus, that helps me. And I can rebound from any sort of depression that I may have. So he asked all these, these different questions on the thing. And then after, he's like, oh, you don't have bipolar. You just had a major anxiety attack. And I'm just like, just think if I would have went with your bipolar diagnosis I would have been on probably 2, 3 medications, not in my right mind. So, you do have to be careful when you're going to, these physicians and they're putting things on you. Make sure you get more than one opinion, and make sure you just don't go with that one opinion. So from there, I was able to do some counseling, and I think he was pretty amazed, guys, with the things that I would talk about, things that would come out of my mouth, because it was just a different type of level, guys. So I was still battling at work. I had took my hours down to half a day, and still battling at work. I still was able to go to work after a month. I had took like a month off, went back. I was doing half a days. I did have to end that job because it was toxic. The people around, not necessarily the people that were coming into the office to get treatment, but it was the people that were coworkers. It was toxic. And then also I had to remove toxic people around me that I considered close to me. I cut off all communication, and I took a lot. My husband came; he took a lot off my plate as well. So I just wanted to come to you guys and just talk to you about this serious subject. Mental illness month is coming up in October, and there's a lot of people out here that's suffering, and they don't know what they have. They may have anxiety, they may have schizophrenia, they may have bipolar. They just may be in a spiritual warfare. Don't turn your backs on them. Answer their calls. Text them. Call them. You see something that's a little off, check on your friend. Check on your family members. Don't just leave them out to dry. So that's all I wanted to come on and kind of give you my experience as it relates to me being diagnosed with major anxiety. Now, these days, I don't take any medication. If I feel anxiety, which I have felt since, it's not as bad, but I get the uneasiness in my stomach, and I get a little irritation. So I do breathing exercises. I praise God. I read the Bible. Those things help me. Not saying that would help for everybody in this situation, but I didn't have to stay on medication. Thank the Lord, because I'm just glad I had other techniques to help me. But if you're having issues, or you need help in the areas of anything with mental illness, it's okay to go see a psychiatrist to talk about your problems. It's okay. You're not crazy. It's okay to get help. Some people may need medication, and I'm not saying that everybody does. I'm not going against that. I'm just saying, for me, that wasn't the case. But seek out the help that you need, because the worst thing that can happen is someone feeling like they're isolated and alone and having to deal with mental illness by themselves. That can be a deadly combination. So again, my name is Kashia Sharice. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. And you all have a blessed day. Bye.